Hello guys, and thanks for choosing this video. So this video I made about a year ago, and I really wanted you guys to see it. It's about the forms of Abrahamic religions that we have in Africa, okay? Your Judaism, your Christianity, your Islam, okay? Because I truly believe that the forms of these religions that we have in Africa have been designed to purposely mislead us and take us down different roads. I wanted to make sure you guys are aware of this. We need to be aware of this, okay? If you think I'm talking rubbish, please let me know in the comment section. It'd be really good to hear from you. I do believe that these religions have been purposely designed to mislead us, and this video is about who I believe is responsible for designing these religions in this way. So please sit back, relax, enjoy the video, and I will see you again soon. Thank you for watching.
Hello guys, and welcome to another day in paradise. I'm going to start off with a story which I find quite disturbing. A few weeks ago I watched a clip of two soldiers walking, two mothers who both had their young babies strapped to them in their wraps. This was in Africa. I'm assuming it was in Africa. And these two soldiers led these two women who were holding their babies into a clearing. The women were silent and compliant. They didn't say anything. They didn't struggle. The soldiers took aim and shot all four of them, babies and all. It was an extremely disturbing thing to watch. There was another video that I'd seen a few years ago actually. This is during the Syrian war. I know it's still ongoing, but this was at the height. And it was some sort of room where a lot of children who'd been killed were being stored. And the injuries, I'm not going to describe these injuries, but let's just say I'll never forget those images. It's years later and I haven't had to watch it again. I'll never forget those images. And yeah, I always had this feeling inside me that maybe something was spurring all this on, like some sort of evil. And a few days ago I had a chat with my friend Ibrahim about the state of the world and of mankind and the things that have been going on inside this realm. And I love it when you speak to people like Ibrahim, because when you speak to people like him, every conversation you have, you are more than aware that you're going to learn something more about what's happening in our world, and it's nice. So it's well appreciated to have a friend like him around. So anyway, towards the end of our conversation, he spoke to me about an extreme form of Judaism, which he believed could be the answer I was searching for, the reason why all this is happening. He explained to me, just like Christianity, Islam, Judaism also has a whole spectrum of different versions and different extremes, varying extremes. And at the bottom of those were those that were born into Judaism, those who call themselves Jews, but they don't constantly go to the synagogue and stuff like that. And then towards the middle you have your moderate Zionists, I believe, and then further you have the extreme Zionists like Netanyahu. You have the Hasidic Zionists, the ultra-Orthodox, and if you continue going to the end, you will get the most extreme form of Judaism, which is called sabbatian Judaism. So what is sabbatian Judaism? I mean, this is something new to me as well. Why haven't you heard about it? Well, this sect was started by the ordained Rabbi Zabbatai Zevi, who claimed to be the long-awaited Jewish Messiah. The Sabbatian sect, also known as the Crypto-Jews, saw themselves as beyond ultra-pure Judaism. They saw themselves as the anointed, like angels. They were there to carry out God's will. Now, why haven't you heard about the sect? Well, the Sabbatians themselves see themselves as taking on, as the ones tasked with influencing the coming of God. So they saw themselves as agents of God. Everything Jews did had to be done purely to forward the interest of all Jews throughout the world. The way they do this is to infiltrate all facets of society, corporations, education, entertainment, industry, and of course the Abrahamic religions of Christianity, Islam, and mainstream Judaism. Now I need to stress this, that most Jews do not even see these people as being Jewish. It's like with Islam, we all know that Islam is a religion of peace and of love. It's a beautiful religion. But then you've got these monsters over in the Middle East doing what they were doing out in the desert. ISIS and so forth, Most Muslims don't see them as Muslims. They just see them as a bunch of crazy terrorists running around killing people. Killing other Muslims, killing real Muslims, by the way. So, yeah, people need to recognize that you can't tarnish one people with one brush, you understand? So they did this covertly and denied their own existence. You got to remember this. They infiltrated and then they did their work secretly. Let's be frank. They did it secretly because it's almost impossible to fight against an enemy who doesn't exist. And this is the main reason why they do things secretly. So what is their job? Now, this is the part, essentially, which answers my question. What is the Sabbatian, the Crypto-Jews' jobs here on Earth? Well, they see themselves as a catalyst that will bring on the second coming of God. The method they use is to bring evil into society. Their plan is to make the world so bad that God is forced into coming back to cleanse the world of the Gentiles. So it's their job to promote paedophilia, promote genocide and war and murder. Not just promote it, but actually commit it as well. These heinous acts, they teach people to commit these heinous acts and do it themselves, and they want to affect as many lives with it so that the world is filled with it, so God has to come back. This is their logic, believe it or not. Now, when Ibrahim told me about this after our conversation, he sent me a little link to a video which had David Icke, who was talking about the sabbatiandeathcults. And I know what you're thinking. David Icke, well, there are people that doubt the things that he says. And a lot of things that he says, even to me, they sound crazy. I take everything he says with a pinch of salt. So anyway, I did roll my eyes a little bit. But, I actually thought to myself, this sounds like the answer. That there is something out there pushing this evil agenda around the world. I was just wondering all the time whether there were people waking up each day to work, putting their plan into action to make sure they meet their quota of murdering a certain number of children or raping a certain number of children. Yeah, for me this sounds entirely possible. So who are these cult followers and how are they able to do these things? They must be very powerful. They are very powerful. You must be very powerful to start a war. When you think about how powerful a person must be to get away with murdering tens of thousands of people, you need to forget about the politicians and the presidents and the world leaders. You need to forget about the ones that you see on TV every day. These guys are just willing participants. They're not the real power mongers. You need to think about those who work in the shadows. The most notable are the House of Saud. Now, yeah, I don't think the House of Saud are Muslims. Yeah, and they're not acting like Muslims. Look at what they're doing in Yemen. Doesn't sound like the works of a Muslim to me. And if you're thinking about America, you've got to think about those who are appointed into the White House. So not those who are voted in, but those who are appointed. People like Kissinger, who dictated foreign policy around the US, for the US for decades. The world you actually see before you today was by and large built by Kissinger and his masters. So when you see the so-called Muslims like Bashar al-Assad and MBS and those people just wholesale slaughtering people of their own race and of their own religion, maybe you should ask yourself, are they really of that race and are they really of that religion? What are your thoughts? Please leave your comments and questions in the comments section. Enjoy your day.